Hi, this is John with SysEng Quick, and today I'll show you how to install FreeBSD. On the freebsd.org website, click on the Download FreeBSD link, scroll down to the current stable release, which is 11.1 as of this recording. Click on the installer image for your platform, and then select one of the disks. The boot-only ISO will use a network mirror to download packages. Disk 1 is good enough for the base system, but if you want more than that, you'll need to get the DVD one. So I have already downloaded that one, so let's go ahead over to VirtualBox and start it up. Alright, so it will automatically boot in about a few seconds, but you can go ahead and just hit enter to start it up sooner than that. And it will go ahead and boot into the FreeBSD installer. Alright, so we're going to say install. You can change your key map here or continue with the default. So US is the default, that's where I am, so I'll leave that like it is. It's going to ask you for a host name, so I'm going to put freebsd.localdomain. And here is where it asks you for the packages that you want to install. So basically, there's not a lot you need to change unless you know what you're doing. So you probably don't need anything from debugging. Additional documentation is nice, but not really necessary. The ports tree, you're going to want that. Library compatibility, going to want that. The source is just if you want to compile the kernel source, and tests, if you don't know what that is, you don't need them. So I'm going to leave it by default. You can do a few different things for partitioning. You can set up auto with the UFS file system or auto with ZFS. UFS is still the standard file system. ZFS is supported, but if you don't have ECC memory, you may or may not wish to use ZFS. ZFS is a lot nicer, it has a lot of nice features. I'm going to go ahead and use ZFS and just use the automatic configuration. And now it's going to tell us what it's letting us do on here. So we're going to use the GPT partitioning scheme. We're going to have a 2 gig swap size. I think we'll change that to 4 gigs. We won't mirror the swap or encrypt it. I'm going to encrypt our disks. 4K hectares, that's fine. zroot, that's fine. And everything should be okay with there. So I will go ahead and hit OK. And I'll put it on ADA0, which is the first hard disk that it's found. And we're going to erase partitions and set it up. And now it's going to install the configurations that you've selected from the disk or ask you for a network mirror if you chose the boot only ISO. Since I've got the DVD image, everything should be on here. And all we have to do now is wait until the installer is complete. Alright, now it's going to ask you for the root password, so we'll go ahead and set that up. It's asking us which network interface we want to configure. I've only got the one, so yes, I'm going to use IPv4, and yes, I'll use DHCP. If you say no to those options, it will let you choose a static configuration. I'm not going to use IPv6. These things are what is found from DHCP. Those are all fine for me, but you can change your DNS settings if you want. Now testing is for a time zone. I am in the US, so we'll go to America. And click on United States. And then I'm going to do Eastern. And yes, that is correct. Alright, that date is correct, and the time is correct. Alright, it's going to ask us for a few things we may want to configure. So we can install Unbound, which is a replacement in recent versions of FreeBSD for the bind name server. Usually aren't going to need that. MouseD probably won't need that. NTPD, that's probably good. We'll go ahead and configure that. Won't need PowerD. Dump dev, we'll go ahead and leave that on. It's just for kernel crash dumps. And it gives you a few other things to harden up the system. I'm going to leave all of those like they are. And we can add a regular user account. So I'll make the syseng account. We'll put it into the wheel group, and that will let it log in as root. I'm going to change the shell. Well, actually, I would have if bash were available. It's not on the default FreeBSD installation. You have to install bash yourself. So I'll leave it as sh. Alright, so there it is, setting up the account. We can go ahead and say yes. I will not add another user. And now it brings you up to the post configuration. So you can either change some things here, or you can go ahead and exit. And we can just go ahead and reboot. And now it'll boot us up into our FreeBSD installer. Alright, there we go. We now have a FreeBSD installation. And we should have network connectivity through DHCP. Looks like we're good. And that's how you set up FreeBSD. Thanks for watching.